Africa is home to rich biodiversity of countless species and ecosystems that support communities, economies, and enable life on our planet. But they need safeguarding. With over 1 million species at risk of extinction globally, urgent action is needed to protect and restore wildlife, ensuring healthy ecosystems, livelihoods, and a sustainable future for all. The African Wildlife Initiative by IUCN Save Our Species supported conservationists across sub-Saharan Africa by funding impactful on-the-ground projects fostering collaboration that protected species, habitats, and people.
Africa is home to a large and diverse population of wildlife. But unfortunately, due to increasing and growing social, economic, and environmental threats, they are under threat. And some of the pressures include from things like poaching, illegal wildlife trade, wildlife diseases, unsustainable consumptive habits, among others. And as a result, IUCN, in partnership with the European Union, developed the IUCN SOS African Wildlife Initiative.
In November 2024, conservationists from the initiative and IUCN staff gathered in Nairobi, Kenya for the African Wildlife Initiative Lessons Learned workshop. They shared successes, challenges, and innovative solutions, strengthening collective efforts for impactful conservation action on the ground. From 2017 to 2024, the European Union, through the African Wildlife Initiative, co-funded 91 projects across the continent that helped protect an estimated 64 threatened species and placed 40 million hectares of threatened species habitat under improved management, ensuring their preservation. Focusing on species conservation, habitat management, sustainable livelihoods, and capacity building, the initiative has led to tangible conservation successes.
On a permis à des groupements de femmes de multiplier leur production de manioc par 4, de multiplier la transformation de ces manioc par 5, et on leur a permis de trouver de nouveaux marchés avec l'industrie locale qui payait à des prix plus importants que par le passé. Donc du coup, les revenus de ces femmes-là ont été multipliés par 10.
These communities have lived with wildlife for centuries, so trying to build on that recognition, that ability to coexist with wildlife and reinforce cultural mechanisms and cultural traditions that allow the communities to live with wildlife rather than continuing depending on solutions that are coming from outside.
And this was done through a vocational training initiative where community members learned about skills, and they were able to use their skills to get alternative livelihood. So those training on masonry, training on motorbike repairs, training on mobile phone repairs, training on catering, hairdressing, tailoring.
At the end of the project, we also were able to reduce human-lion conflicts by about 65%. We also capacitated local communities on Boma techniques, which further helped to mitigate human-lion conflict.
With this project, we were piloting provision of bone fragments to the Cape vultures. We saw 12 when we started of the chicks with bone vomites, and then with the pilot project which we did, that number reduced to 5, and then we continued to do the same project, and we saw that the number of chicks that had those bone problems was reducing. That was the most important part because Cape vultures then was endangered, and we have seen that now the population has improved to be now listed as vulnerable.
La régénération naturelle des forêts. À ce niveau-là, nous avons travaillé sur environ 600 hectares régénérés. C'était les forêts galeries et les forêts claires.
This workshop gave us the opportunity to directly interact with our partners on the ground and hear what valuable lessons they have learned by implementing their projects.
I've learned a lot about grant management. I've learned a lot about how to structure a project. And I think what SOS has enabled me to do is to be able to apply for bigger grants, to be able to support our work to scale it up.
The results are obvious. More than 95% of the lake has been cleared, and we're seeing manatee coming back, and the local community are now able to fish and provide for their families.
Looking ahead, the power of knowledge sharing will continue to shape the future of conservation. By learning from one another and building on the successes of today, we are not only addressing current challenges, but also laying the groundwork for a sustainable future. Thanks to the dedication of our partners, the African Wildlife Initiative has made significant progress. But conservation is an ongoing journey, one that requires continued investment, collaboration, and innovation.
Despite all this impactful work that has been done, Africa's wildlife is still under threat. We still need more resources, more partnerships, more advocacy, more awareness raising to continue the work that has been done and to scale up these efforts for greater impact. We cannot do this alone. We need your collaboration to work hand in hand to create a future for our children, a future that we're proud of, where wildlife and communities can live hand in hand.
Together, we can build a future where people and nature thrive in harmony.